Meehan. Surprise you now. I have a question. Can you summarize the things you will talk about? What's the name of your talk?
Serving ourselves and each other.
Can we do that in like 3 minutes?
Yeah.
And a quick rehearsal?
No, I tried to do it with you yesterday.
Yeah, no, but that was 10 minutes.
Yeah, it was more like 10 minutes.
No, it's just because I do this for like a podcast, so we need to...
Of course.
3 minutes.
In 3 minutes, I'll be talking about what the modern bartender is, how the modern bartender exists and operates now outside of the bar. I'll be talking about the changes that being a career bartender presents versus being a bartender for just a few years in college. What bartenders need to, how we have to essentially change our approach for a 40-year career versus a 4-year career. And I'll be confronting some of the challenging, bigger issues we face in our industry as well. So I think the general idea of the talk is to shine a spotlight on the people that are the bright lights in our industry, the ones that are doing things for charity, doing things for health, doing things for culture, and to also shine a bright light on how we face some challenges internally that we need to come together, first identify them, become self-aware of ourselves and our industry, and then from there really try to find solutions for everyone. I think it's easy to find what's wrong with an industry or what's challenging with an industry. It's more challenging to find solutions. So today I'll be presenting some of the challenges we face as career modern bartenders and some of the solutions that I see others in our industry really doing a great job that are inspiring, both myself and I think bartenders around the world.
So it's a little bit about live healthy. Think about it's like not 4 years, it's 40.
Yeah.
And improve yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's, what has happened in the last 10 years was not something that none of us were prepared for. None of us knew this would happen. So I think you and I are we're just figuring it out as we go. But we've been doing this for 20 years now. So I think one of the things that I think is beautiful about POUR is that all of us who have been doing this for so long have realized that we all have a collective responsibility to younger bartenders and to each other to talk about our experiences and to open up a dialogue. I think until we can start talking about these more challenging topics among ourselves, which we all have different views on. It's not like I'm saying, totally. Yeah, I think everyone's not going to agree with what I present today, but I think it's important to open up the dialogue so we all can present our views and that, the young bartenders and us can learn.
So today I have another question. Today I sent out a newsletter. I have this personal newsletter, and I sent my thoughts about POUR. And my theory is what I think I'm a little bit struggling now is I have the feeling that the bartender involved in the last 5 years or 10 years very much. So we have like very famous bartenders, and that's cool. But many of them team up. For me, what I see is a big mything is they team up with brands, but they don't team up with their bar. Yeah. You're an operator as well. You employ bartenders. Yeah. I think for us, I think about how we can. I think it's our mistake also. It's not like somebody is guilty, but I think what for me would be essential is to bring bar owners or the brand of the bar and the bartender together, and let them both grow. This is my personal. I have this problems in Hamburg a few times that people, they left or they go somewhere, and I always think it's a shame. Yeah. You have this also in New York?
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge we face is one of the reasons why bartenders go and work with brands is because they get paid more money to be brand ambassadors, either national or global. And one of the things we see in our industry is that brands are perfectly comfortable spending thousands of dollars taking us out to eat or drink or taking us to visit their distillery or their place of origin, but that money is not also going into our pockets. And I think the biggest thing that we face is because the money is not going into our pockets, we have a relationship of codependence. We don't have the independence financially. We don't stand on our own 2 feet and decide we want to work with a brand or collaborate with the brand. We very much are.
As a bartender.
Yeah, as a bartender or a bar owner, we
yeah.
very much depend on their sponsorship and support. So I think that it's a two-way street. It's something that we're just as responsible as the brands are for this relationship. But I think that one of the things that I think brands could do to help bartenders is to help them find their own financial and professional independence so that we could choose to work with brands instead of depend on brands for our very existence.
Yeah, okay. Just, that's what I'm struggling. It's a little bit like, how can we make it, I think it should be more bartenders and bars developing over the time.
Well, I think that, for me, one of the things I feel like is that there would be no bartenders and bars without brands, and there would be no brands without bartenders and bars. So
here we go, the triangle.
Yeah, so I think it should be a symbiotic relationship, and it should go both ways. And I think both the brands have to be more transparent about what they expect from the bartenders, and the bartenders should be more transparent about what they expect from the brands. And I think hopefully one of the things that Pour helps to accomplish is to help establish that dialogue. This is what we need, this is what we want, this is what you need, this is what you want. How can we work together to further both of our ends?
Absolutely agree. Thanks.